420, baby. That's what's up. We in early. We saw that number. We said, 20, baby. That's what's up. We in early. What's up, T-Door? What's up? So yeah, I saw I've been getting a lot of subs during the day, man. That's not good. You don't get to see the guy run across the screen. But Ishtar up early, eating her vegetables and her fruits. Don't go harass her, anybody. She's Monty. Don't harass Ishtar. She's has a baby. So hey, yo, what's up, y'all? Yeah, so nice and quiet in the night. That's what we like. Not too much stink face. So looking good for Team China to 3, folks. I was watching some programming today there on the old sweat box over here, and Jason Goodman's pissed. Shit, he was pissed at DeFango today, man. For DeFango at a show about some targeted individual. Remember Pete Santilli used to have those targeted individuals? I think there's a competition for targeted individuals. But regardless, he was squawking about Dave Acton, man. I was like, what? Dave Acton's still around, man? I haven't seen that guy in freaking 6 months. So, you know, taking it easy, checking out the tubes, seeing how I can just be a good guy again. And yeah, it's pretty sad. My friend Adelaide's called it quits, folks. She had too much a grandpa creepy touch. You know what I'm talking? You know what I'm saying? So she's we saved another one, folks. Possibly saved another soul. So what are my friends? Where's my friends from the UK? Speak up, man. Where's J-Man? J-Man from Australia, man. J-Man's got the coolest backyard. He's got friggin' kangaroos, man. Friggin' size of a human being. Jumping around. Crazy. So I think this is a perfect time, folks. It looks like the coast is clear. When I get a lot of thumbs up early in the evening, like at 12 o'clock, I know that's good. They're putting in their words and then they go to sleep, you know? Tuck themselves in. Hey, there he is, J-Man. Nice to see you, buddy. How's the old paddock today? Any ruse? Yeah, go on over to J-Man's channel. He's got a video of his backyard, I think, or he's got a video of about 50 kangaroos jumping down a tree line. It's pretty friggin' amazing. It looks like he's being invaded. It's like that movie there. What's up, Searching for Truth? Yeah, so I was taking it easy today. I've been taking it easy. I've vowed to take it easy till the end of the month on the old USA server where people are crazy, or until they try and pull out another friggin' LARP, another Cappy. I've been doing a video on the old Cap Master since he's been silenced from squawking on Twitter. What's up, Mr. Lang? We got some Chirac in the house, or what is it? Detroit, man. Chicago, baby. So yeah, we've been taking it easy. We're vowing to try and to dip under the radar for a while, you know, get back stealth bomber status, and see what the old cronies are up to next. Should know. Now that I'm following Mr. Goodman, it just so happens if I'm following Goodman and he's telling me about, or he's talking about all the things DeFango's doing, well, I mean, I just try not to follow DeFango just because I already know too much, you know, for him to be credible at anything that he touches. I mean, right away I know it's probably some kind of a scheme. So, and Dave Acton, I mean, that gentleman is, that's it, he's a gentleman. I think he's reeling in the end of his career, you know. I don't think he's so heavy on the art, the video creation has gone down, and he's not so, he's not trying to be a main player in the man boob tooth movement. Chicago in the house, yes sir. So any progress in Chicago? Is it still like that guy that's driving around there in his car, and I go to see all the hoods in Chicago? I'm like, holy smokes, man! It's looking, some of them streets, man, are looking like 8 out of 10 houses is freaking falling down. But I guess that's Detroit. Chicago's more city, I guess. Hey, you ever been to Oakton University? David? Think you could go over to Oakton and check out a, what are those things called? Where they have a yearbook. You know, I guess it's a community college, so they probably don't have a yearbook. They got a pretty good art program over there at Oakton. Yeah, Dave, you ever been down there by Oakton Community College, or is that way out of the way for you? I know it's in Chicago somewhere. Maybe it's on the outskirts of Chicago. Yeah, so what did you think of the old title, The Pride Party Tonight? And I was going to put a picture of a bunch of lions, you know? But then I thought the lion and the jackal would be good. Thought I could get a trigger out of that photo. SGT. Yeah, Obama, exactly. DeFango worked for OFA because he basically, when his Twitter went down, I think it was about May 10th, May 12th, his Twitter went down, and he put his backup Twitter up, and his backup Twitter, the email to it is ray@OFA.org. Obama for America, OFA. So yeah, he definitely worked there because he was, and it said OFA, UOA, I guess University of Arizona, something like that. So his email on his Twitter, you can verify it on his Twitter now because his old Twitter I think is Gonzo. But the Twitter that he's using, for a while it was Mort DeFango, I think. No, that was his changed one of his channels to that. But I think he had his Twitter as that as well. So yeah, there's definitely, I'm looking forward to filling in all the blanks for Jason Goodman, because honestly, these guys basically did to me what they're doing to him now. And I don't know how they manage to do these things to people and keep like a level of separation between, like nobody else sees what they're doing. It's really like a personal journey, man, where you're getting trolled by a number of people, and it seems like everyone's can see, but I guess they're able to just, do things and not, just the person affected seeing, and other people, even other people they've affected before, are just not tuned into it. Because I thought Dave Acton was acting cool, like I didn't think he was still going around and flexing his grandpa pipes, you know what I mean? Because I think George is the younger one, so and I think when I think must have been 57, like friggin' 3 years ago, so he must be 62. Hey, Ishtar, did you have some juice today, Ishtar? You should go get yourself a juicer, man, and start trying to drink some of them juices. Baby's gotta love juice. Yeah, great. Yeah, you should fall back asleep. Basically, we're just gonna stay cool. Happy that nobody's getting triggered in the chat, because I want that old guy to chill down. You know what I'm saying? I don't want him to go around and start friggin' cyber hunting. He's like a bloody wascally wabbit. What was that hunter in that cartoon? Yeah, he's like that guy. Yo, Freddy. Alright, man. That's the good thing about Freddy, is he's over in Vancouver. Is 3 hours behind. Because back in the day when I used to come home from the clubs, Freddy, I used to just call my girlfriend over in Vancouver, and it would still be like 12 o'clock, So I'd be all like getting home at 3. Everybody's in bed, and in Vancouver they're just like, it's only 12. But nice to see you, buddy. I saw those 2 videos you did, man, today. Go check out his channel. I put up some good videos today. That one, the Ebonics one there, that was good, man. Where he was I guess he's trying out for some kind of a acting role. I think the best video I saw all day today, Freddy, is OG1 Kenobi's. Because that one where he's pointing out that our boy there, the winner of the WoW, Wanker of the Week, that's a great name, a great title too. Wow, you guys really friggin' hit this one out of the park, man. I mean, frig, I just hope that these suckers believe that I'm the frickin' leader of this, man, and I got all this fucking brain power to myself, and I just take credit for it among all the friggin' super trolls. They're like, this guy's a genius. But yeah, no, the title, wow, and then yeah, he did a follow-up video where he's, and the guy's showing his wife he's working at MTV, and it's true, man. MTV's polluted, man. It ain't no good. You can't be working at MTV and your husband's friggin' hunting, saving children online. I mean, right there, that sounds fraudulent, If you want to save children, man, you just stop making convince them to make good content and get normal, and then that would be better than just working there and making the shows that they're already making. Yo, we're up, Freddie. We're getting up at this time on purpose so that we can avoid this the static in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Hello, Flat D Ribbit. How's the frogs? Toads. Check out Major Flat D's videos. She's got some nice videos on some toads. Friggin' sounds so nice. For sure, if there's ever a thunderstorm near your place, you should record it with those toads in the background. That would just be like, that would get at least 1 million views. Might take a long time, but oh, okay. David don't know of Oakton. Alright. Keep your eyes peeled, man. If you see Oakton Community College, man, we're interested in that place, man. We want to know about that place. Oh yeah, Scooby made that video. I thought it was OG1 Kenobi, man. If that was Scooby, friggin', that guy's. I'm so proud of that guy, man. I hope people give me credit for everything he does. This is great, man. Being China to 3, where they throw all kinds of gaslight nonsense on you. Frig, this is really helping my self-esteem a lot. Lately, I haven't done nothing, and I get more attention than the friggin' than the county madam. Yeah, Freddie, you'll like Flat D's videos, because you know what? They sound friggin' cool, man, with frogs. I guess she lives by a pond. And there's all kinds of friggin' toads in there and frogs. So yeah, check out OG's vid. You're gonna love it. And I hope you're spending good time with the old little man there. And buy him a bandana or something, and just put 20 bucks in the swear jar tomorrow and put tape on your mouth, man, and don't bother untaping yourself until he goes to sleep. So yeah, I'm real happy actually. I got another haircut. See? I'm coming clean, man. I'm coming clean cut, man. People are going to think I'm a Marine. I'm going to wear my camouflage shirt tomorrow night. People are going to think I'm in the Marines soon. They're going to be like, Captain Potter and that guy China. It'll happen. First, now that I'm in good with Team Goodman, and obviously, if he's got problems with those two jokers, well, DeFango and Dave are the least of my problems, but their best friend is the other guy. So, maybe I can get Mr. Goodman to talk to Mr. Potter, you know what I mean? And we flush out the old Skeletor. The three of us together, we flush them out. Yeah, if you felt you stumbled on nothing really. You stumbled onto the UK stream, and basically this is what's going on, Flat D. Everything's cool, man. You see? There's no drama here. 4:20 a.m. That's when it starts. 4:20, baby. And there's no drama, because the drama's Dodo. Ghost Cab, what's up, buddy? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He's keeping us. This is my little connector. He gives me a little bit of info on the daily going ons. I seen that Jason did a pretty nice walk down the street today, except the streets in New York are hella dirty, man. I mean, he's got to point his camera up, not back down towards the dirty streets. He's got to point him up towards towards the rooftops. Ghost Crab, go make sure you tell him that China the 3 says he needs to point his camera upward and not downward. All the frickin' garbage behind him. It looked like he was a friggin' he looked like a boat swimming through the dump. Wasn't his fault either. Yeah, the American streets, they ain't looking too good. I mean, I clean the street around my place so that if there's garbage and stuff, I just pick it up. So there's usually no garbage around. But I guess if I didn't, there would be, because I live in a city. And there's all apartments around and stuff. And people throw their trash. Yeah, Jason, no, Jason was at the gym, man. He was probably on a machine. Jason ain't clowning around, man. He's friggin' trying to, 40's the new 20 over there with Jason, man. I mean, if, you know, if he needs to, man, I'll set him up. Or he could come down to Montreal and he could do some UFC training with GSP, with the GSP gym. Yeah, so Jason and I, we got common goals, and he was looking good today, man. I'm telling you, he was talking, he had confidence. He's walking down the street, man. Boom, boom, boom. Rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. Friggin' look good, man. Look good. It was promising. And we're gonna have to do something about Quinn, man. We're gonna have to fix Quinn up with some kind of. Yeah, I saw his video to go over to Patreon, but I don't go on Patreon, man. I don't go over there. I used to, you know, back when Patreon started, I had a Patreon before all these guys. But Monty killed the channel that was connected to it, and I never really connected it to another channel. Because kind of embarrassed to be over there with all the jokers, you know. But I guess if you're doing something else on the server other than clowning the jokers that are all on Patreon, then it's not that bad to be on Patreon. Like if you have, like Freddie was talking about yesterday, this guy that's got a vacation channel, and he's got whatever, however many subs he has, he makes enough money to go on vacation, and they pay him in his Patreon, and he doesn't talk smack about nobody, and he goes on trips, and and people enjoy it, so God bless him. But if you're talking smack about the clowns that are in the Tooth movement, and you make a patron, they're just gonna cancel it. If you make a GoFundMe, they'll just cancel it. If they see your PayPal's getting a lot of donations, they'll try and cancel your PayPal. So gotta be careful if you're clowning someone and you have any kind of information that auto loads onto your video about any type of well, these clowns over in the Tooth movement, the ones that control this part of YouTube, yeah, well, they write letters to all the different places so that you can't you basically get, they all write back and tell you they gotta cancel your fundraisers. And it's happened to me over probably 5 or 10 times. So it's just part of the you know, when people are really focused on money, that's part of their weapons, is to control the money, to control the views, and then They get rid of people that they can't control. Oh, man. Dave, man, you work late, brother. God bless. That ain't so bad, though, you know. It's like, even if you get, like, I used to work where it was from 2 to 7, you know, like a little 5-hour shift. But it was like, it's pretty cool. It's like you're not even working, because it's the middle of the night and everyone else is sleeping. So basically, it's like you're just missing 5 hours of where you definitely would have been sleeping. And you sleep a few more hours at different times, but like I would sleep in the evening at like 8. But yeah, getting home at 3 o'clock, man, I'm happy to be here, man. I won't ask what you do, and don't tell anyone, because let me tell you, this ain't a safe space over here. Lately, the ladies have been getting a little bit of extra attention from the grandpa creepy touch. You know what I'm saying? Which is kind of disheartening, but yeah, Flat D. I like that. So Flat D says, dude, Goodman, give me a break. And you know what, Flat D? You're right. I would have said the same thing. Except Goodman and I have the similar problems with the same group of people. So as long as he stays focused on that problem and not too focused on targeted individuals. And hey, man, targeted individuals, man. I mean, as long as he focuses on other things. And it's only such a big server, you know? There's only so many people on this server. So I figure since everyone's making memes against Jason, and Hoax Wars and the Tyrone Steemit crew are all anti-Jason, and everyone else is a hero, but Jason's the worst guy on the planet. So I'm guessing it's Steemit, Defango, Hoax Wars, all of them, plus Thomas, plus Dave Acton, versus Jason and me. And Quinny Boy, or Quinbot, Qbot. We're gonna, maybe Quinn is gonna, I think he's trying to assume the Q that he deciphered Q before me, which is possible. But I know I made them all terminal, man. I made the whole Cicada group friggin' shuddered, and then Q fell out of their pockets. And that was the end of Q. That was on May 9th. Yeah, well, Freddie, the good thing is that we, for sure, everyone's opinion is great, and for sure, there's nothing to lose. I'm not worried about getting sucked into any kind of weirdness, and I could only make his stream better, man. I could only make it better. Look, I already gave him free advice, free technical advice. The guy's been walking around for friggin' half a year now with his selfie stick up in the sky like he's holding like he's holding some plates. He's a waiter, and he's got to do the old judge look, you know, and put one of those flags on it. So the flag's up here, you know, and when he walks with it, people see the flag like as if it's a crippled person. And I mean, I'm not saying go down too low, but you don't want to be pointing downward. Infraguard. Ghost Crab. What is Infraguard? Tell me. What's up, Michelle? 11 a.m. Oh man, you must be in Ireland or something. Or, yeah, you know what? Matt is amazing channel, and you know what? He's got such an amazing presentation, you know? The way that he's able to, because he does have a lot of respect for all the different, you know, even the flat earth, even the people that believe there may be some kind of living in some kind of a pre-programmed, you know, matrix type. But it's just interesting hearing him the way that he talks about it and way that he presents it. It's real. It's real nice to see. You know, you just get a glimpse into someone else's opinion. But he's pretty understanding. He doesn't throw anyone under the bus. And he's friggin' got like 13,000 subs or something. And frig, he's just amazing, man. He must get like 200-300 subs a day. Because I know he turned off his other channel because he was worried that it would say he would lose it, and then all the links would be broken and so on and so forth, and it would say this channel's been removed for bullying or some bullshit. So he turned it off himself, and he started a new channel, and it wasn't even a year ago. And so yeah, you must get 1,000 subs a month, which is part and parcel that when you give such a nice presentation and you're not offensive with people, and people don't really hassle him either, which is cool. And he ain't monetized, or they would probably hassle him, which is not cool, but he's pretty cool. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. And YouTube is as a Joker website, yes, with it wouldn't be such a joke if you know, if most of the old dudes would act, you know, like responsible adults, and people after them would act the same. It would be a better place, but it's kind of stale. All these old dudes trying to hang on to what they used to have, and it's flying away. I think whatever the next platform's gonna be, man, these people ain't gonna make the pivot over there, that's for sure. At least not with their video face. Well, you know, the Mandela effect, person like Matt will talk about something like that, and he'll be very, very interesting the way that he puts it, that he, you know, presents it to the person. And even most people, I won't even listen to those type of videos, but when he makes it, it's actually it's very interesting. So he's opened my eyes to a lot of stuff. It's good to have an open mind, you know, and just take in some other people's opinions that you respect, you know, and see how they're thinking about things. That's why Michelle, that's one of her favorite channels, Quantum of Conscious, and yeah, if anybody hasn't seen his channel, you probably enjoy it, especially if you like abstract thinking. Cyber Militia, man, I like this, man. This guy's good, man. Baby FBI chapters made up of certain citizens remind me a lot of Dave. Yeah, well, Dave went overboard with his LARP, man, and he unlarped himself right out of Costco Consulting, because he's some kind of an internet consultant, and maybe freelances as Monty's little sidekick, you know, but I don't know what kind of company would want to hire those two guys because of the scenario that went over last year. The Mandela Effect actors, well, it doesn't matter. I think he did a good video today I think it was something about, flat Earth, and that they should have at least changed the term. And you got to worry about the presentation, how it's really, it's really not a good, it's not a good word to use, flat Earth, when you're presenting it to people. It turns them off, it shuts them down. I thought that was an amazing presentation, because that is the case in a lot of cases. Like, talking about these things you learn about on YouTube are going to shut down the rest of your family towards you. So it's important, if you are going to talk to them about it, that you don't use the terms that the truth movement has developed, of the terms around the Alex Jones, that you don't use any of those terms, and you maybe approach it from a different angle if you are going to discuss it. And don't start explaining the whole friggin' from first to front to back. Just maybe explain a little part, and that's what he was pointing to today. And I thought it was pretty damn good advice, because I don't want to see anyone go home over Christmas and tell grandma the flat Earth, that they heard about the flat Earth. I just don't want to hear them say it, because their grandma's going to be pissed. And you could discuss those things, but in a different kind of a context, without using those words that have basically they've killed those words. YouTube is a killer of words, man. Soon it's gonna kill. Lift the Yarmulke. I think that was Handsome Truth that started that. Because he's, I think he did that in one of his super chats, He pays $5 and he writes something crazy. But I was watching their stream today. They were on some girl's stream. And it must be hard to not get banned when you have content like that. And it's really strong, and it speaks out about Zionism and stuff, because there's a lot of that on here where obviously, if you're competing with the news and stuff, if you if you think I think it's bad covering Monograph, there's a lot of other subjects you can cover to attract a lot of a lot of attention anyways. And people, when they don't like you on this server, they just erase your channel. So people should just recognize that it's not like a place where you're doing videos in stone and it's going to be here forever. It's only going to be here forever if they like what it is. If it's offensive to anyone, especially certain, to any group in particular or any race, well, there's a pretty good chance that it'll get studied and possibly have problems. So, but yeah, Handsome Truth, man, he's got quite the frickin' beard, man. I don't know what kind of heritage that guy. He must be Armenian or something. He's got this friggin' thick ass beard, man. I always wish I could have a friggin' dark beard like that. Like Chuck Norris, like you could light a friggin' match. Me, I gotta wear a bandana when I ride my motorcycle so friggin' bugs don't hit me. Actually, I got a pretty good helmet, and Arai or something like that. It's like probably $1,200 just for the helmet. But gotta protect that skull, man. This ain't California where you can drive with no helmets. Yeah, well, Michelle, it's a pleasure having you in my chats, and if you've been around YouTube for a long time, it's incredible to me how the people don't change, and that people keep just letting them back in with different stories, and they're not recognizing that it's the same 25 dudes. And it's like, wait a minute, man. This guy was here in 2016. Like, Pete Santilli's going to come back this year. I mean, I guarantee it. And I mean, if he comes back and, you know, and I'm on Team Goodman and then Pete Santilli's there for, you know, I mean, I'm sure Pete Santilli's not going to like that. He's going to be like, well, I won't be going on the Goodman show right now. So, it ain't gonna be a Jewish wedding, man, written in stone with the broken glass and Mazel Tov. It'll be a limited liability partnership. And there's nothing wrong with, you know, helping people do certain things and not participating in other type of if there's anybody calling a Maresk or calling in a nuclear strike or NORAD's involved, man, I'm freaking out, man. I'm canceling the business cards and I'm going back to Canada, man. I'm getting off the old casino bus tour down to Yonkers and I'm just gonna go back to the Montreal casino all by myself. Yeah, Freddie too, man. Freddie too. Freddie's gonna have him on his show. He's gonna talk nice. And you know what? We can't hate everyone, Freddie. We can't hate all of them. We can't hate George Webb, Jason, friggin', you know, all of these guys. Lift the veil. You know, if they're all memeing against Jason Goodman, he must be doing something right that they don't like. So I'm studying it for a second, man. I'm not stupid. Shoot, I don't want to do all the work all by myself all the time by myself. I'm the only guy on the team. I need someone else, man. Jason was pissed today, man. He was friggin'... I'm not even going to repeat it, but Jason's pissed, man. He wants someone to... pay the toll booth, you know. He's the toll booth agent, and it's only $0.25, but you gotta pay the toll. Quantum Epic, how you doing? Let's see. Yeah, well, I don't worry about Goodman. He's a good boy. He can't... You know what I'm saying? I mean, if we did the marathon, man, it'd be China to 3 by friggin' by 25 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So don't worry about it. Don't worry about Goodman. I'll be doing the... Plus, I got Freddie, man. Freddie will be looking things over. He'll be like, oh, man, now there was something weird going on Patreon. Someone told me there was something strange being said on Discord, and then I'll be in the loop again, because I don't really go on those places. But I was feeling like going on the Jason Goodman Patreon. I might have to get him to give me the old one month membership for $1 or whatever it is. I hope it ain't too much more than $1 a month or $5 a year or something like that. But good on him, man. Good on him. What's it cost to be a member of his patron crew? The viewers on Patreon. How much does that cost? Ghost Crab. I mean, if Dave, I doubt Dave is with the FBI, because they would be so pissed if he was. I mean, he's basically working for a consulting firm, and you know, they try and control. It's like Stratford, but kindergarten. You know what I'm saying? Like Stratford, they got people, they're training them. You don't probably see them on YouTube very much. You don't know who's who. But then you got Dave Acton. He's more like a private firm. Him and 3-4 people. Sugar Shine, some other people like this. Possums. And maybe he's getting some money out of that Massachusetts cyber division. But Dave's harmless because he's already he's already basically ratted himself out. So he's harmless. Nobody really believes that the shift is going to come and that he's going to give you a good way to get out of it. What is Infraguard? Let me see. Infraguard. $1. Jesus, Murphy. Are you kidding me? Frig, I might have to buy a round of Goodman's, man. We'll get all 20 of us. We'll go join up to Goodman's Patron, man. We'll put it over the edge, man. You'll be so happy. It'll be like friggin'... Maybe we'll do it on Friday night, man. A good Shabbos for the old Jason Goodman. Well, I'll spend $20 and buy everyone a pass to watch his videos for 1 month. And maybe it'll help you quit YouTube totally. Altogether. But $1 a month, holy smokes. We're not buying friggin' 3D commercial equipment with this kind of money, man. We're gonna have to raise the roof on these numbers. He's gonna have to put on the super chat and start, hire some young women to walk beside him and hold his camera or something. And hold back the bums that try and beg money off of him and George Webb. But, Tidor. So, Tidor, did you see what was going on there with my poor friend Addie? Man, she was, I guess, she said a few things a few times, and then that was it, man. Old man Winter, he friggin' lost his friggin' socks, and he went looking for them all over. Everywhere she went, he followed her. Creepy, man. Hey, Tidor, did you notice what happened to his other accounts? Did he lose a bunch of accounts? He's only trolling me with Illuminati and then this other one. What happened to all his October rain stuff? Is that all gone? Is the rains over? October puddles. November snow. What's going on over there with the rains? Hey, Scooby. There we go. We got my UK squad, man. How was your day, brother? Yeah, man, you should be catching most of these live streams because I'm doing them. I mean, even on Sunday, I slept all day. I mean, I'm actually reprogrammed for UK streams. Well, this is a new channel, so you might not have been getting notified, but what I've been doing is I've been sharing it with my main channel and other channels, so people should get notifications. And if you want to get notified, it helps if you like it, because then all my other friends, you suggest it to everyone else because it's a live stream. But like Freddy too, if he likes my live streams when they come out, that's real helpful, Freddy, when you like my live streams, because then all our friends in common, you suggest my live stream to them. It's kind of weird the way the algorithm goes, like I can like my live stream and suggest it to you guys, so people should like their own live streams, but it doesn't work as good as someone else that is in your friends list that likes your live stream, then it's shared to their friends and your friends in common, you know. So your friends that are their friends in common get a recommended, and it'll be one of the first two, one of the first 5 on the dashboard, which is pretty cool. And that's why trolls hate it when you go live and stuff. And I know I cleaned up my office in the first time in like 6 months, man. I have 2 motorcycles in there, all kinds of weird stuff, man. So I got some, I'm gonna get some nice angel fish or something, and I can do live streams from my office with my 1080p camera and everything. So they'll be like real professional and stuff. That way, it's very easy for me to be, have good quality content and everything. And we'll see. I might just make another live stream channel for when I use my other office, so that the haters don't, because if they see that I'm in a nice office and there's, they're just gonna friggin' try and kill the channel. So the less content I have on each of these live stream channels, the better. And I'll just buy another cell phone and get another number. Every time you make a new channel and you want to go live, you have to get a new cell phone or a new number. You can't do it with the same channels or with the same I guess it's called you get what's it called when you call, they send you a number by text, and basically it authenticates your account. And now you have to wait 24 hours. Back when I started, you could just monetize. Now you have to wait. I guess they do some kind of review of all you have to have a certain amount of videos and a certain amount of views and a certain amount of content, and then they review your content to see if you can be monetized. So basically they're saying you basically got to conform with all that stuff or you ain't gonna get monetized. And so slowly but surely you're gonna notice the new people that come on YouTube, they're not gonna know about the old YouTube, and they're not gonna have any kind of a incentive to go that way. And YouTube's gonna promote to them that they should, move forward in the way that that let's say the people that were placed on YouTube are acting, And then at some point YouTube's gonna demonize all these channels that are news and that have t-shirts like Lift the Veil, and then everyone's gonna look stupid and they're gonna turn all that off. They're gonna say you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do that. And obviously, it's cool if the clowns aren't purging channels and YouTube is just demonetizing them, and then the people that get demonetized get pissed, and if they want to start talking about Q because then they can monetize, well, let them make fools of themselves. And if you're not monetized, you don't lose anything. So you just make the video you want. And even if you lose your channel, you're not losing bread and butter that feeds your family. So once you start monetizing, especially if you have a family and you start putting time in and you have to be forgiving on all these people. It's not the worst thing. It's definitely good if they monetize and move away from the truth movement. Yeah, the fishy's gonna be nice tomorrow, Quantum. I'm gonna go get some angel fish. I'm gonna see if I could get some that are full grown, That way I don't have to worry about them not loving their big fish tank, because I got a huge fish tank. And I got some koi fish in it. I think angel fish and koi fish are okay. I'll have to ask it, because I know angel fish are pretty vicious. Yeah, well, the thing is, my live stream, Scooby, is that because I do it on my iPad, and then I use Streamlabs, so I run the software behind the scenes, you know, where I have Safari, which is the web browser for Apple, and I have the Safari open, and then I go on my channel, and then I set it up, I change the thumbnail, but then when I start with Streamlabs, I can't close this window or it'll close the stream, so I can't go back and add people. Basically, Freddie did pretty good by calling in with the Unicorn Furby there at Gmail. And yeah, but there's a good time for me to be collecting my thoughts and figuring out what it is we should be talking about. And the best person for this this Freddy, man, he's the easiest guy to talk to. That's why his stream is amazing. He's got like 6-7 people on, and everyone feels comfortable. And even better, sometimes, you know, people say things and they're just spill their heart, and it's like, holy smokes, this guy's better than Jay Leno. He's better than Arsenio Hall. Well, Nate, didn't Nate win? No, Titus won. Nate, I'm going to say a prayer for him, man, and he makes it. And at InfoWars, they give him the friggin' sticker, and they just say, okay, put this over there on your cat's tower there, and you're with us now. And don't quit telling the kids that you're not with us, because they're not believing you anyways. And then he'll be happier, and he could, you know, friggin', I'm telling you, Nate the Snake and Titus, man, and the MTV diva, they just want to go to award shows, man, and be famous all together like Eminem. I'm telling you. Rach, there she is. Man, this is the best stream, man. Rach, I see her every time. It's like perfect timing. Imagine in the USA, man, they miss all these great people. They don't know about the middle of the night people. Cajun Princess, what's up, girl? So, do we have any questions over in the chat? Does the old China the 3, does anyone have any want to access the old data bank? I can't wait for Jason Goodman to ask me a few questions, and I start telling him about these things and actually showing him videos that I have about them and some of the things that he's describing. Pickles and ice cream, holy smokes. Freddy's saying all the magic words. The pickles has something to do with salt. Women, when they're pregnant, they want more salt. So, Scooby, you did your first stream? Well, it's no different than a video in the sense that it depends, you know. If people come in to derail you because for whatever reason, it's difficult. But if you're just doing a video, it's not as bad. Like for me, it's not that bad because usually I ramble off in my videos, and it's kind of nice to take it easy and not have anybody in the chat that's going crazy. Oh my god, shit, the wit we did. Did we get it? Jesus, Murphy. This guy's up at the crack of dawn, buddy. What are you, going to bed at 7:30 now? You're up at friggin' 3:20 a.m.? What are you, just getting in from the bars? Did you go worship that blue horse over at the old, the airport out there in, Jesus, Murphy. And the fun never ends in the UK stream, I tell ya. Hopefully Mr. Illuminati's gonna be, normal. Did I rebury the corpse's shirt? Oh, man. He wasn't liking that shirt. I'm gonna start wearing button down. I'm gonna start, just for you, Illuminati, I'm gonna start wearing a suit and tie, man. I'm gonna get more traction than Jordan Slather, man. You wait until friggin' September when school starts and I'm wearing a suit and tie every day. Friggin' wear a three-piece suit. When I see Corsi wears a three-piece suit, I'll wear a three-piece suit. You know, wish you never said that about my Corpsey shirt. I know you love that shirt.
You've seen my face. You've seen my videos.
Oh, sorry. I was, trying to get in on the chat here. So, the question is, here's the question from the Illuminati. Here it is. LOL, I'll leave you to it, buddy. Well, it's in your best interest to stop coming around and getting clowned by me. And a lot of things are in your best interest. And I hope maybe you're turning over a new leaf. I don't know. Maybe you're waking up and make it happen, man. Make it happen, old dude. Make it happen, and we'll, you know, Sheriff will ride off into the sunset, man. I'll go solve crimes elsewhere. And, you know, maybe some of your friends will, they won't have no problems later on this year, you know what I mean? Yeah, Ishtar, if you do join that their mystery machine, let me know how it goes, man. I never joined any kind of, when I used to play, player versus player, like, you know, I guess it was, first person World of Warcraft. I used to have a program where I could get on and talk to my friends. And I'm sure it's pretty close to that Discord. I forget what mine was called. It was with Blizzard, though. And it's actually kind of cool because you can talk. And then whenever I used to go out and I wouldn't be on it, and I would know other people would all be on it, and if they would come into the PvP and I would like mash them all, I would just be one guy and there would be like 5, 6 guys all talking to each other. I'd still mash them all up. Didn't help. So I can't believe it, kids. I mean, 3 cheers for friggin' turning over a new leaf for the gentleman. I'm telling you, he's come in, he's left, and you know what? I think he's making friends today over here. With some people are wondering if I'm the bad guy again. So hopefully that rubs off onto other websites where he's posted all kinds of crazy stuff, and could go back to normal YouTubing. And I can worry about Pete Santilli when he comes back online. I don't have to worry about all those old dudes on Twitter. And obviously now that I got Jason Goodman on my side, things are looking up over here, man. Jason Goodman's got lawyers, man. He's got all kinds of... He's lives in a friggin' damn penthouse, it looks like. It's probably like friggin'... I mean... I don't know if you ever checked the rent in New York, but it's probably like $5,000 for an apartment. Give me a break. So, unless you live in the slums, and I don't think,
China.
I don't know though.
So you know me. It's China to 3.
Sorry about that. So I started up the other thing here in case I had to put someone in timeout, but it's like, one step ahead, man. One step ahead. Every day is you know, it's if you're moving in the right direction, man. It's not where you're at. It's the direction you're going, and today it looks like we're going in the right direction. I had to go to the store, get myself some cream for my tea, and yes, Freddie, that's a great idea to start the 12-step program. 12-step YouTube program. But actually, YouTube would be a pretty cool place if there was a better community and less of this no nonsense. Because it's just like everything, you know. You can use something for good and you can use it and people don't enjoy it. And, you know, there's parts of YouTube that are very enjoyable where they're not trying to pull over nonsense stories as real. There's not as much pressure on people to accept that, you know, which is basically these people are being paid to make you accept that, you know, complete fairy tales are real. Foot volley. Pro Foot Volley's got a question. Who did you know first? Thomas, Dave, Nathan, or DeFango? Well, let me tell you how the order goes in that one. It goes Dave, DeFango, Thomas, Nathan. And basically, Thomas has probably been here the longest. And I knew him back in 2016 when I was having problems with DeFango. And I was having problems with Dave also and his squad. And they were taking down my channels. And then I was wondering who this guy, Sophia Music, was. But DeFango ratted them all out on May 9th, so I know who everyone is now. And Dave Acton ratted himself out and everything, and everyone that he knows, including his nephew, the dentist in New York. And, you know, Jason Goodman could probably go to that dentist and make friends with his nephew and have his nephew talk to his uncle and make him calm down. So that's how that goes when you rat out your whole family on live streams. But Dave has been here a long time, probably on YouTube as long as Monty. And they're both decent creators, but they just lost control and went nuts and did too much no-no. And I guess the LARP is that they were going to be fake criminals but do all kinds of criminal stuff, and then it kind of stuck that that ain't right. So Dave has since kind of retired since his 2016 ordeal in December when he freaked out. I thought he had basically retired, but apparently not. He's somewhere in the background hassling Mr. Goodman with DeFango. But they all working for our boy there, Cicada. What about you, Pro Football-y? Who did you know first? Professor Doom, Pete Santilli, or Pamela Geller? Because Pamela Geller was probably 2012 on YouTube. And then 13 was Pete Santilli, and then 14 was his two jokers, Blaine Cooper and John Ritzheimer. And oh yeah, don't forget that other clown that stood up on the friggin' billboard there, not Haskell, what was his name, man? Some ATF dude, and he had all kinds of militia guys shooting off weapons, and he was on a billboard with a rifle, and I think they arrested him for doing that. It looked like he was like a sniper, you know? But, what was his name? Remember, it had like a double letter. Maybe it was a double R. Forget. Well, Sophia Music has a large channel. Well, Sophia Music is just like a channel, a real channel for a guy that also pushes Cicada, which has hundreds of millions of views. So yeah, when you have other things that are pushing hundreds of millions of views, you know, sometimes they point back to one other guy's channel of music, and eventually you get a lot of subs from doing that stuff. But he's also got a lot of music on there, and he's been on YouTube for 5-6 years, so it's not that much subs. You know, he's been on here since 2016 that I seen him, and likely he's been on since 2006 with his Cicada stuff. He's likely been on here as long as Monty, especially if he's hanging with DeFango and DeFango's working with Monty. Yeah, Eric Spitfire made a comment on my video the other day, my live stream. He said, I think he said something to the effect, but you'll check for yourself. He said something like good advice. But I got a bit of respect for Spitfire, because you can tell he didn't join, well, he didn't, you know, he's basically after his thing with Santilli, they kind of wrecked him. And then he's just doing his own thing, and he's just keeps doing it. He's not getting that much traction, but it doesn't stop him, so kind of respect him for that. And I like him because he's a little dude, and he does karate, so I'm sure he could friggin' take out the Illuminati in a friggin' Halloween party, karate tournament. So, put my money on the ninja. Yeah, well, good old Laz, we don't have to worry about him much, because I'm sure he's got some subs that are going to say, like, what the hell, Laz, like, why are you even talking about the guy? The guy he just talks about other things, he doesn't talk about you. And then he's going to be like, yeah, well, he started first. And then the people are going to be like, well, what? You know? He started, and okay, well, it looks like he ended it too. So, and then he's going to be like, all right, I'm going back to gardening. Boom. That's the end of that. I still haven't seen the live stream that they did together. So if anyone sees it and it's bad in any way, don't tell me, because I like to have a good outlook on life. So what I do is I don't watch any of this crazy stuff that's not done. Trust me, I can make a video and watch it and feel good after I watch my own videos. So don't worry, I don't need to watch other people's videos. I make enough of my own. Oh, Mr. Adam Kokesh. Yeah, well, he's a special guy. But he's kind of... He's like the other guy, Shark Bite Mouth there, the assemblyman. Kokesh and the other guy's got a Winnebago too, and he drives around like a clown. But I don't mess with those guys, because it's just like they're on another level. They're not on YouTube in the way that I am in the Twoof movement. Those guys are at a level of Lionel Nation kind of thing, you know, a bit above Like, even if you troll them, it's not effective to even... There's just like a... It's not worth it. It's not worth your energy. Kokesh too, man. You could say anything to that guy. I mean, his girlfriend broke up with him and did a tell-all video about all kinds of stuff, and he still came back. So, guy's a boss, man. I mean, nothing could take that guy's friggin' avatar down. Kokesh, man. He's gonna... In 10 years, he'll have an autobiography. The YouTube Kokesh. I mean, it's very close to Koresh, so if I was him, I would just change that K into an R, and I'd be famous already. I mean, I wouldn't waste my time with the Kokesh, I'd just go with the Koresh. He already did most of the legwork. You just gotta pick up a few Bibles, call Jason Boss, get a couple Bibles, man, put an R where the K is. On YouTube, you're already famous. Well, UNRIG, what's the problem with UNRIG now? Because, you know, like, I've been seeing UNRIG, she's been putting out videos, and it's like, I'm surprised this girl's not talking to her husband about, you know, putting less lights behind them and stuff. Like, it's like a bloody epileptic seizure over there with that background that he uses. But, you know, she's putting out videos, and then every once in a while I go over and I'm like, jokers, like, this is nuts. Like, what are you gonna multiply his he's already got like 2 channels with, he gets all kinds of friggin' views with his crazy stuff, and so I just make little funny comments, you know. And who do I see over there all the time is Sugar Shine is always commenting under UNRIG's videos. But UNRIG is she's got a cool avatar. It's a little bit like a Furby. She's got little like buttons on the top of her heads like Mickey Mouse. All in all, UNRIG is going to try and pivot over to InfoWars, and let him do it. He's not going to be able to just remain a normal dude. It's going to go to his head pretty quick. He's going to be competing with Joe Biggs for an office by next June. Yeah, so Ishtar is noticing, and it's funny because Stratford is like very close to these people in Texas, and you know, Sophia Music and Cicada and that guy Thomas, they're all in Texas, and so you got to understand, like, if you're running any kind of program on YouTube and it's getting 800 million views globally, these other people likely know you, especially if you're taking numbers and putting people on Lift the Veil show, like you're some kind of a you know, like a manager, like a YouTube manager. So it's very likely that these people know of each other or are connected somewhere, either to InfoWars or to Stratford. Especially if they're in Texas and they're on YouTube and they're a major player on YouTube. Like, you know, you gotta understand that the major corporations are gonna have major players. They're not gonna have clowns. So, it's likely that that's the case. That, and if not, you know, I know DeFango was talking about Cicada being sold to Sony Music or Sony Entertainment. So, if that's the case, then it's likely not InfoWars. It's likely something else, you know, because if it was InfoWars, then InfoWars would have already sold it to Sony Music. That's InfoWars. InfoWars makes money, man. He sells friggin' Sells iron, freaking sells water, drops, iodine drops, all kinds of stuff. North Cali, eh? So what is, let me read this here. I got a question from Tidor. You need real ex-vet awareness of the fraud's effects or not. Get the socks out. Start linking Kikesh. Kikesh and the other guy with the shark bite and his other Winnebago man was... They ain't that bad because they ain't striking people's channels. You know what I mean? They're just over there doing their little fundraisers and trying to buy new trucks and stuff, and you can't stop them. Shameless, but whatever. Modern day charlatans is all. Yeah, Thomas was in Texas with DeFango back in, I guess it was November 2016. And then, I don't know if they met up at DEF CON or whatever, but I know DeFango went to DEF CON that year. So it would be 2017. DeFango went to DEF CON in August. So they were probably hanging out around then too. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to DEF CON with Dave and all them guys. And I mean, if I'm gonna go to DEF CON just to see if I can catch these guys friggin' slipping in the hallways with their old bodies that I recognize from YouTube. And don't worry, I'll have an extra set of tournament gloves. And I'll have my live stream going, and I'll see if any of them want to step in the ring and take care of business with China the 3. They all want to talk about making me do this and that, so it'll be their big chance. And it'll be fun. I'll get lots of views. Nobody will get hurt. There'll be lots of gloves, lots of pads. Yeah, well, DeFango is really, really insecure, Ishtar. And sorry if I'm calling out your name. So Ishtar is making note that she saw a video where Cappy was on DeFango's show. Well, first of all, what happens is that DeFango and Lift the Veil, when they have people on, those people are likely paying them. So the interview is going to be weird because the person's coming on and they want to put some kind of message out, and the other guy's just got a little bit of money, so he doesn't want them to do too much damage to his channel. So, but yeah, I could see where DeFango's a little bit insecure now because DeFango was actually the bigger channel between him and UNRIG. But since this whole breakdown, and and not doing so good after the Shadowbox 2017 Shadowbox, he wasn't looking so hot in 2018, and somehow UNRIG pulled ahead of him with all his gaming, and they shared gaming streams, and they were in Discords together. And then around May, when DeFango got attacked, he lost the channel for a while. He wasn't able to upload, and then he lost his Discord. And UNRIG didn't, and UNRIG pulled ahead, and then InfoWars approached UNRIG, and they just skipped right over DeFango. And that's why you see DeFango's a little bit triggered, man. He's easily friggin', his hair's spiked up, man, and he's ready to friggin' rumble. There ain't no stopping DeFango now, man. He wants his place. I got videos. He's like, he wants his title back, man. He's the one, the unifier, man. Not UNRIG's not the unifier, he said. I mean, I got these guys saying all this stuff on video. And I even told UNRIG, I was like, UNRIG, You got the Fango up in your games and hearing that. I'm telling you, he's pissed off. He's jealous, man. And UNRIG was like, no, we're friends. And I was like, okay, you'll see. You'll see. Watch what happens when the Mexican gets a knife out and starts coming for your back when you're turned around, giving your wife a hug while she's uploading, mirroring your videos. Yeah, you'll see. Then you'll say, Jesus Christ, China the 3 is not the real problem on this server? Yeah, and then you'll be fishing a knife out the back. So, what happened to the Fango spear? Yeah, well, Thomas, he took his damn spear back because it's some kind of bogus spear from Africa that one of these clowns bought at one of these swap meets, and it probably cost like $600 because it looked like some kind of authentic African spear. And, you know, I mean, from what the Fango was saying, Thomas took it back and pawned it. But I doubt it. Thomas took it back and he put it in the friggin' in the basement of his nice house, you know, somewhere in Texas, and he's got a spear in his basement, and he laughs when his friends come over, and he says how this is the Spear of Destiny on YouTube, and DeFango was his promoter of that LARP. Yeah, he never got the spear back, but I got a real tomahawk, so that I'll show that on one of my live streams. It's like a wooden tomahawk. It's not like got a piece of rock in it or anything like that. It's just like a piece of petrified wood made by the Mohawks. Oh, cool. Treach is in the house, yo. Beep, beep. Nice to see you, brother. Freddy's in the house, too. There he is. Frig, man. This, you know what? And it's not so bad, because look, he dipped in and dipped out, and we're still happy, man. This friggin' stream is going too good. I mean, people are going to watch this, and they're going to be like, China has turned over a new leaf, man. There's nothing but smooth sailing over here. He turned in the cigarette boat for a sailboat. Thomas and Dave were neighbors. Well, Dave lives right around Mount Shasta, so they were neighbors. That's interesting. But DeFango says Thomas was a bit of a transient dude. You know, he liked hotels. I'm going to still publish the rest of the Christmas dinner. I got about 3-4 more videos to do. And Jason Goodman will probably like those videos because he probably doesn't have that content. And I got all the content from 2016 and before, from 2014 to 16. So that'll be helpful for Jason when he wants to really understand what's going on, because this is an ongoing problem with about 20 people, and they all pretending like they're not working together. But many of them don't even create content. They're just in the chat, you know, chatting it up all the time. But usually if you go under Monograph's videos, like his music ones that he makes, you'll see all the same people chatting right down below those videos. It's always those same, you know, avatars. The Christmas dinner foot volley. Check out some videos I have on my channel China the 3, YouTube story China the 3. It's a dinner that they had last year where Dave, Frank Bacon, Lift the Veil, Hoax Wars, and a few other people came on to the stream, and they talked about how they were going to control YouTube in the next year. Or I don't know what the whole thing is, because I never really listened to the whole video. I just been making videos out of it by every 15 minutes. I splice it up, you know, but it takes a while to do that. You got to do it with the media player open and record and pause and friggin' re-record and change the title and then upload it. So I do about, whenever I get bored, I do about 4 or 5 of them because I have to sit there and let it play for 15 minutes. During Malheur, I had a lot of channels. I had Chaos. I had one thrives on China. The 3 thrives on Chaos. I had like James de la B1. I had quite a few channels. I had China the 3 Unstoppable, China the 3 Banned Worldwide. But most of them said China the 3 in them. And then I stopped doing that because there was just so much hate that I'd make a channel, and they were a lot more effective in 2016 than they were in 2018. You know, like they're not very effective at what they were doing effectively 2 years ago. And that has a lot to do with the way that the platforms changed, that it's so much easier to put up content. And there's a lot less of this this hero where you can go and, you know, I wouldn't even make it to hero. There was a glitch where you could just strike people's freaking playlists, and they were exploiting that. And they were just going with 20 accounts and striking 3-4 playlists on the same channel, and the channel would go down with like 10 channels. So they're just not able to do that anymore. The feature's not there anymore. So that's why you'll see a lot of these shill channels will have no videos, and they'll all be unlisted, and they'll all be in a playlist. So they'll have a playlist on another channel from their channel that they don't want to have problems with, that you won't be able to find where the videos, unless you're watching the video, then you can follow it back to the channel it's on. But that's one of the little things that they're, you know, the playlist was a little bit of a weak exploit. Because it was an anonymous complaint you could make. Well, what it is, there's likely someone's there, Judge Larpner. I can say that it's not just a separate account, and his accounts, he's got multiple windows. So basically, I mean, this is not to talk about him, but this is what a person would have to do. Is they would have like Chrome, Explorer, and you know, and another web browser, like let's say Mozilla, and they'll have it open different channels in each of those browsers, and they're not going to have one browser with 5 or 6 accounts all in the same browser opening, because when Google cancels one account, it sees all the other accounts that were logged in from that same Google One account, and it cancels them all at once if it wants to. So anyone that's averse in this whole is keeping all their accounts completely separate. So there's no button that you press and you just flick into another account. No, you gotta basically log in on another device or in another Explorer window or another web browser. But there's like 20 or 30 web browsers that you could have. So you could have like 20 or 30 different channels if you wanted to, technically, that weren't attached. But as soon as you start putting them all in the same web browser with the cookies and everything, and if you have any problem with Google, they can see all that. But it doesn't help to make a new account with the main account, a secondary account, because then it's just, they're both attached. A lot of times I think if you lose live streaming on one, and the other accounts are all affiliate. It's on all the accounts from that tree of accounts, let's say. And that's why it's better to just have a separate device for every account. And then when you log in, the account opens. You never have to worry about any of that stuff, switching and this stuff. But, listen, those old days are over where people would just have one account, and if they had one account, if they made a second account, people would shame them, like, why do you have a sock account? Why do you have this? I mean, in 2016, when I started making multiple accounts, people were pissed, man. They were like, how can you have 2 accounts and 3? I was like, what? I could have 20 accounts if I want. What are you guys talking about? Because it's not easy to take down an account. And they don't want you to have 20. They want you to just have the people they don't like, they only want them to have one account. So they can effectively silence them whenever they want. And usually they wait for whatever reason, and then they all work together. And then once you're down, you can't talk to anyone, nobody notices your channel's gone. You just quit this website. And I'm sure they've made over 200 people quit the website. So, Ghost Cab, give me another question, buddy. And Freddy, you know what, man? You got something special, man, but I tell you, you gotta put that tip jar, even when the sun's not there, you're making money for that kid, man, all week long while he's back at the mom's house. The next time you see him, he's gonna have at least $400, man. He'll pay the gas when you take him on a trip. The kid will be loaded, man. His pockets will be filled with $5 bills, man. Everywhere he goes, he'll be giving people fives, man. From you swearing all week long. But soon enough, Google will love you, man. You just gotta not drink, not swear, not smoke, and not play anyone else's music. And then not compete with the news that are paying Google right now. And they're happy, man. As long as you say fidget spinner every once in a while, man, they're friggin' ecstatic. I wouldn't be surprised if the whole fidget spinner phenomenon was developed around these same type of clowny groups, but another clowny group that was like more like TV infomercial, and then they brought the fidget spinners, and they had people talk about them, and people started getting views, and then that was it, man. They must have sold 10 million fidget spinners in 2016. Everybody had a fidget spinner channel. There was people that just strictly made channels on fidget spinners. It was friggin' something to do with Google too, because if you would put fidget spinner in your title, it would give you a fidget spinner. David's not surprising someone. What's this? The nose always knows. Let's see what David says. Swearing ain't the worst, man, Freddy. Swearing ain't the worst. And trust me, I used to cuss 2 years ago like a sailor. And I used to think it was funny. But now I realize, because I have all these... I have a pretty intelligent audience of you know, like, I'm sure that they don't want to hear me swear all the time just based on the fact that they're you know, 70% are ladies. So and then if you're ever listening, if someone's listening to your live stream and then you start swearing and anyone else can overhear, well, they gotta basically turn the volume almost right down, and just makes it uncomfortable for a person to risk having the volume up, and then I start swearing. So I just try and hold myself back. And actually it's better, because if someone sees the video, they're not going to think I'm aggressive. You know, if I'm swearing and then I'm covering people, they're going to think I'm too aggressive for that type of content. And think I'm a freak. But I used to swear I'm French, you know, a little French dude. So trust me, when I start swearing, it doesn't sound good. It starts sounding like I'm a longshoreman. Uh-oh, we got someone here that's really, Judge Larpner here is losing it, man. We'll leave you there with your messages, Larpner. Nobody wants to hear that kind of stuff, man. Don't start coming here giving us static, man. And you go back to sleep and wake up when the Americans are online. Well, it definitely, people, when you swear, they definitely, if they don't swear, they definitely notice you're swearing. And if you do swear and someone doesn't swear, it doesn't bother you. You know what I mean? Like, if someone never swears once and you swear all the time, it doesn't bother you. So for me, it's just easier for me not to swear. Because if I would swear all the time, even if people noticed I was swearing, well, I gotta be a little bit careful. I can't be too crazy. My videos, man. I'm gonna try and keep these videos in 20 years. I don't want to, you know, show them to people in 20 years. They'll be like, Jesus, Murphy, buddy, what's all that cursing? In 20 years, it'll probably be illegal to swear, man. You see a swear word and your friggin', your Bitcoin card lights up and you lose $25. Your card's like hooked up to friggin' some kind of Google friggin' earphone piece. Oh, what do we got here? We got football volleys getting pissed. Some people really get offended by Jeff C's swearing. No, I like Jeff C's presentation. I like the way he talks, man. He's pretty, it's like he's sarcastic, you know? And it's because he's Canadian too. When he talks, and he's from the West Island where I'm from, so when he talks, it sounds like people that I'm used to hearing, you know. So he's definitely from the little city that I'm from, because there's only a few English places in the West Island, or in Montreal, during the time when, you know, so obviously that's how come he's English, but he's from Quebec, and I'm English, but I'm from Quebec also. And we have friends in common, me and Jeff C. Friends from the Pioneer, which is getting torn down this month, and they're going to build condos instead of the old Pioneer Bar. So Pro Foot Volley Tours, Jake Morphonius. Well, I know that Jake Morphonius was bothering the hell out of my buddy Tachyon Time Lord, and I covered him about maybe 4 months ago, and he's a bit of a joker. He's like Gray Hughes. He's a kind of a Dave Acton type person on YouTube, from what I could, you know. If he was giving Tachyon Time Lord problems, then that's basically what he's doing. He's from another part other than the Twoof. I think he's over in that probably over in that Kajenka crowd, you know, where they're presenting all that stuff to the inner city tubers, and then they try and trigger them and tell them that people aren't dead and they're stealing friggin' body parts and all kinds of stuff. That's their LARP over there. And Morpheus, Jake Morpheus, I think he was questioning him about a bridge murder where 2 girls were murdered near a bridge. He's probably a scammer. But if I wanted to know about Morpheus, I would likely just have I'd have Tachyon Time Lord on, and he could speak on him probably a lot better. Yeah, Quantum Epic. Well, it's cool, man. If saying if she feels that Jeff C's putting out good content. Yeah, I heard a few of his videos, and he was making good points. You know, like how these different groups are controlled, and he really friggin' he really is. I like his presentation, the way that he talks about things. But I don't watch his videos anymore. I used to watch him, but I think he tried to pass off one of these aircrafts crashing into a bridge as real, and I didn't look into it too much, but he was arguing with PK and he was arguing with someone else, and I made a few videos about some of the crazy things he was saying about Jesus. And then I just stopped covering him after that. He made a new channel, and it was during that last purge. And I think he was having problems with his channel where people were striking him, so he closed, or he put everything on private and made a new channel, Lord Commander or something like that, and then maybe he brought his other channel back. You gotta wait for your strikes to expire. It takes 3 months sometimes, so likely that's what he was doing. But I don't really like seeing people lose their channels, man. It's pretty friggin' devastating. I wish that wasn't a part of YouTube. And I'm sure people would act more normal, and there are people that need to be removed from YouTube for being, making terrible content. But not as many that had all their content removed. A lot of good channels that just left YouTube. Morphonius is a goof, man. Don't worry about him, Woob. Forget about him. He's a goof, man. Go sign into, I think Tachyon Time Lord's on BitChute now. Jeff is a fake. Well, Jeff is definitely chirping always the same song. It's been 5 years he's been working here. I'm sure he gets paid to be here. That I'm sure of. I'm sure Jeff is working. It's weird because let me just reset this. One sec, I just reset it so I could read my, I could just read my, okay, there we go. Dump Trump. So, Ghost Cap, you, keep me posted on the Defango situation there with Jason Goodman. I already told friggin' Tyrone there over on Holtzworth. I was like, you guys are leaving me no choice but to team up with Jason, man. You guys keep clowning him, all 10 of you, friggin' making your Steam dollars, clowning the guy while he's friggin' busting the fact that Steam it's probably a scam. Well, Jeff doesn't want to touch Honeybee because Jeff is definitely in one of these kind of a consulting group of some kind, At some point, there's people that put out content that want to kind of have some kind of a position of storyteller, So they put people in these positions. Jeff C is very good at YouTube, and obviously someone's paying him to be on YouTube. But Ishtar, you should try and do some kind of exercise program for mothers with newborns and stuff. It's like the baby exercises, gets used to exercising while it's young, while it's developing. Then it comes out and it's all friggin' doing push-ups and stuff. Nah, I don't think Truth Convoy is watching my videos. Because, listen, the woman is following along with the storyline that follows the Corsi crowd, you know, because she's a little bit older, so she's following that storyline. And I don't know, I haven't been watching her videos, but my videos are in the middle of the night, so she's definitely not up watching them. And, you know, when you make a 5-hour video, a woman that's, you know, her age, she's not watching 8 hours of YouTube during the day. And, so she's watching probably her own content, and then she probably tuned in a few times to my videos and sees that if you don't talk about her, she's likely got nothing much to talk about you. So, hopefully she takes less, you know, she finds some kind of way to do her investigation, but not with all these people right there trying to derail her. So maybe takes a different position from some kind of a crafts channel, and then does her little investigations, and maybe presents all that at once in the future, you know, together, so that she could get out from underneath all these clowns. But maybe she wants to be a reporter on the fabric of YouTube, and then let her do what she wants. I mean, if she covers me, that's okay, man. I don't care. Well, Scooby-Doo, don't worry about it, because I know you're a good guy, and YouTube's a very shallow place, and she's even said crazy things about me, and I helped her. So if, you know, even if you help her, she could take that position on anybody. So it's just a question that you just got to get out of her story, and then she'll develop the story around other people. And if the people speak out or do something and she's not in full agreement with them, then she's liable to say almost anything about the person. But she's getting better and better, I think. I wouldn't know because I'm not following her. But I'm happy to have you around, Scooby-Doo, man. You're one of the coolest dudes that I met on YouTube all year, for sure, this year, since I've been back. And I never really enjoyed UK creators, because I always felt like they were under a different kind of, you know, because it's a different kind of a society over in the other side of the pond. And I was always feeling like, you know, because of what happened to Scotland, and not with no tanks, you know, and they gave up their independence. I was just so pissed at freeing the UK. But it's been a pleasure, man. I met 3 or 4 people, and hey, look at all the people I met in the USA. Probably 50,000 people, and probably a handful that I could say that I could depend on. So 3 or 4 from the UK, hey, that's pretty damn good odds. Man, I only been over in the UK for 3 weeks. Hey, Holy Beth. Yeah, the best way to get to the UK is to change your language from English US to English UK. And then it shows up in their search engines and not yours. And the best way for you guys in the UK to get, you know, traction in the US is to put your language as English US and not English UK. If your language is English UK, the algorithm's trying to share you in the UK algorithm, and if you don't have other friends liking it from that algorithm, you're not going to get a lot of shares by the computer. But let's say if you were in the US server and your language was USA, then you'd get a little bit more shares on the American platform. Just a little quirk about how the algorithm's separating people by language it's one of the fundamentals on the algorithm. Typhoon? Who's got a goddamn typhoon? Jesus, Murphy, someone's got a typhoon? Do they have an English Australia? Australia server somehow is connected through Canada, and I don't know, man. It's like, it's weird. Because there's about 10 channels you get off Australia, and then I don't really get much more depth into Australia other than about 20 channels. Might be different for other people. And the UK too, I don't get that much depth into it other than about 10 channels. But there likely is, if you change your country to Australia, that you're likely going to share between New Zealand, Australia, and another country that's maybe in UK, UK, Australia, and New Zealand. And then for America, it's probably UK, Canada, and America, and I mean, you don't see any Mexican YouTube when we're on YouTube, and don't think that people in Mexico aren't uploading to YouTube, and they don't have their own YouTube, and they don't have everyone Mexican. Every TV station has a Mexican YouTube, just like we're having now. They have a YouTube revolution with their TVs, for sure. The same thing going on our server is going on the Mexico server. But if people don't like you, they can follow you around and find you just by your name. It doesn't matter if you change your location and your language. But like if I change my language to French and change my location to France, for sure I'll get shared. French people will see my videos, which is cool. If ever it gets too hot on YouTube.com USA, I could always go to YouTube.fr and speak French, man, and all my trolls will be friggin', they'd have to watch 3 hours of French speaking. They'd be like, they go nuts. Freddy's smoking. So what a pleasurable stream, man, having all these wonderful people here. And man, I keeping everybody up late. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. We'll end the stream at 3:30 because I don't want Freddy to stay up, man. I want him to be in bed. 3:35. Tuck yourself in. Wrap the thing around there, the sheets. Tuck yourself in and get up early there and make some pancakes for the little man. Hopefully he's still around. Does Canada have Mexicans? That's what the question on the floor is. And yeah, most definitely. Canada had a lot of Mexican students back in 2012, but I think one of the prime ministers, I think it was Harper, he stopped the student visas, and it just totally dried up. There was a lot of people from Mexico, and then all of a sudden when they stopped the visas in 2012, since then they've been just letting in mostly Arab country people and people from Africa. Especially if you speak a French language, it's easy to get into Quebec. Like if you're from one of these French countries, then it's a little bit easier to get citizenship in Quebec. Because they're dying for more French people. But in Canada, it's not the same as America. Like, Canadians are a lot more detached from the possession of the land, you know. The government is a lot bigger, has a bigger position in Canada than in America. So in America, you don't have the Queen and stuff. Like, all our land in Canada is Crown land. It's Queen owns all the land and all the animals. So right from there, from jump, they're already a little bit more subservient, you know. So Americans have a lot more. That's why they have their gun rights and stuff, and they chase the red shirts off or the red coats away. Those were the British. And over here in Canada, we didn't chase them away. Quebec kind of chased them away, but they let in the French, which is just, you know, it's just another royal family. Instead of the English royal family, it's the French royal family. So, Mexicans are the least of our problems. Our biggest problem are the actual people born in Canada that don't really have hope and just kind of like live in the cities. And immigrants, when they come here, they're better equipped. They have wonderful little families. Usually they have like 2 or 3. Usually they have 3 kids, and people might be like squawking like rah rah rah, you know, because it's true, you know. Obviously their parents didn't spend any money to build, or their grandparents didn't either. So it's true, it does cost a bit more, but it doesn't take them long. They're working, and the taxes are so high in Canada that everyone that works pays almost 50% tax. So in no time they've paid back the bills of, you know, having a few kids in the hospital. And I mean, you're buying your own stuff as you go, so maybe they get a few months, you know, a year of subsidized living, and then they're usually pretty hard working and work harder than the native Canadians, you know, the European Canadians. And they have pretty cool families, and then the French people usually have broken families. So go figure. In the long run, I think it's good for Canada, because as their kids grow up in Canada and have kids in Canada, well, they're going to be screwed up too. And then the new immigrants that come from these other countries, well, they have a little bit more traditional upbringing, so they're a little bit more down to earth. And they do a little better. So, but I guess it's different because you guys are on the border, so you see all kinds of different varieties of Mexican people. And in Canada, we definitely don't see, like, you know, and, you know, there's not really, there's more people from other places than Canadians, and there's certainly like a really small percentage that are from Mexico. The Mexicans all try to go back to Mexico. I don't think they're even trying to get into America anymore. I mean, it sucks in America, man. Maybe it's better than Mexico, but I wouldn't think so, not for a Mexican. Imagine you have a family and they make you go home, and then your family has to stay there. It's like, holy shit. Yeah, the Desert Storm speech. Well, I got the Desert Storm deck of cards, and that's like a, it's against the Geneva Convention to do stuff like that, you know, but whatever. I got the deck of cards. Maybe I'll make a little slideshow out of them. See all the people that are on the cards that are now dead. And they were pretty much coming up dead as they were rolling out. In Desert Storm, they were like, oh, this guy's done, that guy's done. The cards would come up on the news. King of Hearts, King of Spades. Yeah, Rach. Canadians don't like being called Americans. They think they're, especially the ones that are traveling, they think they're holier than, you know, but they don't realize that Canada's just like some wimpy cousin to the Americans, and everything bad they do, Canada helps them. or does like a mini version on the side just so that it's like so that they can't say they didn't do that. So people don't have no respect for Canadians either. Don't worry, it's not just she thinks that people still have respect for Canadians and don't for Americans, but reality is I think all over the world they're like both of these countries are friggin' satanic. Unfortunately, especially if you watch TV. Or if you tune into YouTube, you're probably like, whoa. Man, I gotta look into this Infogard, man. What the friggin' is this Infogard? Ghost Crab is like, I mean, this guy's, he's like a professor over here, man. He keeps putting out this word Infogard. I'm gonna have to look into it. Yeah, when I was a kid, and we used to go backpacking, you know, in the summertime and stuff, and you could go to Europe, and it was really cheap. You could go to the hostels, and it was really safe, and people really loved Canadians. You just put a Canadian flag anywhere, and you were a hero. Anywhere you went, people were nice to you. But after 2001, you know, there was a few times when they said, "Oh, don't wear the flags. It's not safe in these countries," and then they named off a bunch of countries, and I'm sure it's still not safe. I mean, that was 2002, you know, so we haven't done that much more, so it's probably more dangerous. You're better off to just freaking get a tan and say you're Mexican. And go figure, eh? Americans are gonna LARP as Mexicans so they don't get beat up when they're in friggin' on vacation in Egypt. They're like, oh, hola. Yeah, Quantum Epic, I would agree with you completely that it's a hand in hand and not one is further along than the other, but America actually is, unfortunately, because it's so much bigger, it's so sad to see how, I guess globally, we've all fallen, you know, the UK as well. I mean, especially if they're still doing the same kind of nutty stuff to different all over the world, and we're still doing the same kind of, you know, coalition of the willing. It's still really going on. NATO, bunch of freaking war criminals, but whatever. Yeah, I don't think any Canadians are really satisfied with the way things are going. If they're real Canadians, if they were around in the 80s and they saw, you know, like sitting in your basement watching hockey, to this, where, you know, basically the school system's like horrific and the government's out of touch. Yeah, and even if the New World Order was here 100 years ago, the government was more responsive to the heartbeat of the individual people, you know? And now they're just totally detached, man. I mean, there's like, even if your federal government stopped, there'd be other governments, the UN and everything, that would be just keep running it as if nothing had stopped. You wouldn't be allowed to stop it. Whereas before, you know, and then if you talk out too much and you mess with them too much, they stop your currency like they did to Greece, and that's it, man. Your friggin' whole country collapses. Because they do it so fast that you can't develop any kind of currency alongside them. They just stop giving you money at your banks. So, we're living in a crazy time. And the politicians, man, they just want to be politicians because they think it's the last of the era. The last era of politicians, man. They might be the last ones. Maybe they'll get computers to do it. They'll convince people, they'll get computers to do all the running of things. And you just have to fix the computers. Yeah, and I was on YouTube when all that Grease stuff happened. It's crazy, man. YouTube kind of like, you can see like over the years that it's basically, in a sense, it's like an arm of the you know, digesting information to the population. It's an arm of that, you know, military industrial complex that wants to have access to regular people that have nothing to do with, you know, their scenario or any kind of battlegrounds. They just want to affect people back home, and so they're using YouTube for that, and their Facebook, and it's kind of blowing up in their face. That's why people are leaving Facebook. Yeah, well, Ghost Crab, Santilli and Dave. Santilli was working with... Santilli was like Lift the Veil back in 2014-15. And then he had on that squad there with John Ritzheimer and Blaine Cooper, and he went off to go detain McCain. And the John Ritzheimer, Blaine Cooper squad, well, that's Pamela Geller. So she's at another level, you know? It's like before Vice News came to YouTube, there was Pamela Geller running her friggin' stupid friggin' subway LARP in New York City in 2012. She had all these posters up, and people were freaking out because of her stupid posters in the city metros. It's all friggin' psyops shit from friggin'... I mean, I wouldn't even call it Mossad. It's just a bunch of idiots running a friggin' distasteful drill. You know, alongside people like Rebecca Roth. It's, oh yeah, that's real, that's real, that's real. Bunch of frauds. But if they weren't so fraudulent, it wouldn't be so easy for me to figure them all out. So I don't hate it that these people are not good actors, you know? So Ghost Crab, you're gonna have to be my man on the side when I go on the Goodman show. I'm gonna say, yeah, you got Quinn, I got Ghost Crab, man. Don't worry about it. And then people are gonna be like, who's Ghost Crab? I mean, he's like Q, man, but he's a crab, man. Don't worry about it. I don't know who he is. He's gonna give us some fucking information on Pete Santilli or Mel Hurst. Don't worry. He'll say something and it'll spark some kind of memory in me, and then I'll just start rambling off, man, and everyone at Team Talk Network is like, Jesus Christ, is this guy gonna start talking about us again? Kurt Richard Haskell, man, the guy that saw the underwear bomber get on the plane. He's on YouTube now. He's in freaking Costa Rica, man. Yeah, that guy is one of Santilli's sidekicks. And they're like, that guy Kurt Richard Haskell, he's definitely involved with one of these, probably CIA. Because why else would you be involved with a LARP where the underwear bomber's getting on the plane in some country, Saudi Arabia, and you're seeing them in Saudi Arabia get whistled onto the plane by two Sikh guys, you know, wearing their little hijabs. So just the fact that he's involved in that LARP in 2009 or whatever that one was, and then he's back on YouTube trying to help Santilli go viral with his BS friggin' microphone in Costa Rica. Well, and they all working at Team Talk Network. And it's funny because a lot of these CIA operation type FBI people like Santilli, they were on radio 15 years ago, man, strong. They were the people that were talking about aliens and this one and that one, and it's like, holy smokes, people just quit radio back then. Wasn't just YouTube, man. Back then, these guys used to make people quit radio, man. You'd be driving from one state to the next, and then all of a sudden you'd be like, I ain't ever listening to that radio again. Alright, so we made it, folks. 6:34 a.m. Rise and shine. We're going to put Freddy to bed tonight. Ghost Crab, do a little bit of investigations for me. And what's going on with this friggin' Dave Acton friggin' Defango thing picking on my Jason Goodman, man? Look into that for me and give me an update in whatever, 5-6 hours. And we'll both look into InfoGuard, man. There's something about this InfoGuard, man. Ghost Crab said it 6 times. Obviously, he wants us to look into it, so let's go do that. And everyone else, man, thank you for joining me, man. And I look forward to this Friday when I'm back out of the bedroom. We're back in a real studio environment. And I'll have like, once I sign up my other channel to do live streams, I'll be able to manipulate a real live stream, and I'll have as many people on as they want. So, have a good day over in the UK, and a good evening, and over here in the USA and Canada, well, it's bedtime, kids. And yeah, go check out Distorting Your Rhythms channel. He's always making it. It might have the same name as you saw 3 years ago, but it's a brand new channel. This guy makes new channels. He's so clean. He's like the Michelin man. So he's always making new channels. So go on over there and check out his new channel. And he's got great videos. Ishtar, man. It's a pleasure seeing you. Have a great day. You guys are so nice. Alright, y'all. I'll see you guys. See you tomorrow at 3:30 or 4:20. Thanks for watching.